Are you ready to go ahead and land a product manager job at YouTube Music? Well, this clip may help you just accomplish just that. My name is Rich, and we help people land product manager jobs at their favorite companies. And as you can see from our wall of testimonials, we're probably doing the best job out there in the marketplace. To give you some context of what you are about to go ahead and see, this is a clip taken and exactly edited out from a live coaching call that we ran. And we run group coaching sessions multiple times throughout the week, minimum 5 times a week. And sometimes we even do a few sessions on the weekends. There is a YouTube Music product manager job. We have 2 hiring managers that have posted for it. I want to give you some context so when you're watching, you're not thinking to yourself, well, what's going on? And we are going to build a YouTube Music product manager portfolio project very quickly so we can use that to message the hiring team and convert those interviews, to convert those LinkedIn posts into actual interviews. Fam, the reality is right now, we've got about 200,000 plus people looking for a product manager job. 700,000 people in tech has been laid off. You have, I don't even know the count, but so many people that have been looking to make a transition into product management. All of a sudden, they have time. As of the time of the recording of this video, it is April 29th. Meta has just announced they're getting ready to lay off another 8,000 people, which are 10% of their total workforce, or almost 10% of their total workforce. So in order for you to land a product manager job right now, the market's been hotter than ever. We are seeing more openings than ever, but at the same time, we also have to realize you are competing against more people than ever. So how do we do that? We build your portfolio quickly and effectively. It gets straight down to the point why you are the best value add for that company in real time. And not just for one, but for multiple organizations. This is what we've done, and this is why we continue to convert basically the best product manager jobs with the most awesome companies in the marketplace. Schedule a call if you want to go ahead and learn more. We are here to help you out. And it starts off with scheduling calls for us to be able to see whether or not we could help you out. So to give you some context before we go ahead and get started, this is from a live coaching call. I have a full group here. You may not see who they are, but you will hear their voices. On top of that, we have seen a LinkedIn hiring post. We've added it onto our Airtable. And what we're going to do with that information next is we're going to reach out directly to the hiring team. But before we go ahead and do so, we're going to build a portfolio project. But before we can build the portfolio project, we have to talk about what kind of portfolio we need to build that's going to catch their attention for them to want to interview us in real time. Schedule a call. Talk to you very, very soon. So we got Nathan right here from YouTube Music. Right here, we got Nathan from YouTube Music. And then we also have Elizabeth right here that's also posted for YouTube Music. And this was all a week ago. So if you guys are thinking that the role is cooked, it's actually not cooked yet. So how do we go out there and actually how do we go out there and actually impress this hiring manager? Let's go out there and actually break this thing down. The first thing that we want to go ahead and do is we definitely want to send over a message. So in that first message right here, we want to create the message. Google Gem is okay, but I did find Claude to be a little bit better than the Google Gem in terms of writing. But either or, that's totally fine. The next thing that we have is let's click open the job description. And it says at Google, we put our users first. Right. It's one of the very reasons. Okay, salary range, full-time position, $138,000 to $190,000. Responsibilities. Okay, drive the evolution of new music recommendation across YouTube main and YouTube living room feeds. So optimize the nomination and the ranking of new music releases and videos to ensure they reach fans as quickly as possible. Improve the quality and availability of the mixes, the algorithmic music videos to go out there and enhance user engagement and discovery rates. Collaborate with cross-functional and cross-team partners to define long-term roadmaps for music quality and exploration. So let's go ahead and actually break it down. So YouTube Music right now, would we be using YouTube Music for do you think we're using YouTube Music? First things first is what's the platform? Are we using YouTube Music on our desktop, or do you guys think we're using YouTube Music for our cell phone? It's not a trick question here, folks. I need some degree of participation.
Cell phone.
Fine. Cell phone.
Cell phone?
Yeah, I would say mostly cell phone,
Yeah,
but I do see
mobile.
I do see a use case for laptops too. I mean, I've seen this myself a lot of times at gatherings and such, where instead of using a phone, they've got a laptop where people can, queue up what they want to play. So there's a case to be made for that as well.
100%.
I think percentage wise, people just use either their phones majorly, not really on their laptops as much, unless they're working and want to play music. But most of the time, people don't play the music while working. So ideally, I would say it's probably a 70% cell phone to cell phones or iPads compared to laptops or desktops to be around 30%. That's the split I would go with.
Okay. So we have our differentiator there, right? So why would somebody, what content does YouTube Music have access to that, what content would YouTube Music have access to that Spotify does not have access to? Because now we need a reason why somebody is on the platform. And the reason why somebody is on YouTube Music is because YouTube has music that Spotify does not have access to. Does that make sense? Or
And
like,
also,
Got a wider range of data around user behavior, interest, time that they're spending on this. So like if you're going on a road trip to play YouTube music, it knows that you're on the app for like 4 hours as opposed to, you're looking for a tutorial on fixing your sink, right?
mm-hmm,
There might be a lot of like user generated content on YouTube Music instead of Spotify because Spotify would have like, people who are actually singers or whatever. But YouTube Music would have like, generic audience who might be posting their own music. So one doesn't have to be an established singer to be on YouTube Music.
got it. Got it. What else? Yeah. What else?
I
Like,
think it all comes a lot about collaborations as well in today's time,
mhm,
and about money and deals that YouTube can make with actual artists to bring them on the platform, where compared to Spotify. So a lot of that plays into that aspect of things in terms of who is available on their platform or not. So there are that competition is always going to be there.
100%. You know what other types of content that YouTube Music would have access to that Spotify would not be able to have access to? Like, like music directly from a concert, right? So this is Kanye West when he came to the motherland, Korea. Like this was a vibe. You're not gonna get like you're not gonna go ahead and actually get this on so I can go ahead and I can go out there and everybody knows the song. Like you're not gonna get that on Spotify, right? Unless somebody here can prove me wrong. Can you get this on Spotify?
They're trying, like they're trying to.
Mm.
So now with Spotify, they have this feature where certain things, when you go to the album to listen to the song, it actually says video. So like
Uh-huh.
I went to Thriller, right? Michael Jackson's album the other day, and I'm going down the track list and I see a little play icon next to Thriller, even though I'm on audio only. So I click Thriller to listen to it, and in the background it's showing me the video.
Hmm.
I didn't ask for that. So if there's like a new music video that came out, they're trying to expose people to things, but it's not like YouTube.
Right. It's not like YouTube, right? Okay. So like, let's see here, like Coldplay.
One another area that YouTube Music
Uh-huh.
excels it or would excel in, I do not know, I do not use that, but is karaoke.
There you go. There you go. So, and this is just like another way for you guys to go out there and like ultimately YouTube Music and YouTube would like more artist promotion actually on their platform, right? So this was Coldplay when they also came to the motherland, Korea. And like this is a performance that they did the APT performance with Rose. Like you're not gonna like you can get the song, like you can get Coldplay on Spotify, of course. And you can also go ahead and get APT, but you're not going to get this collab on you're not going to go ahead and actually get that collab onto Spotify, right? And people like me, like that's a fan, I listen to this like all the freaking time, especially if you go to like I personally I enjoy like actually going to music festivals and shows to be a DJ is you want to relive that moment if you like one of the ways that we know like if something amazing happened in Coachella is that people post it up on Instagram, right? But good luck trying to find that clip again on Instagram. If you actually have it onto saved onto your YouTube music playlist, um, that is a use case for the customer. Like I run pretty much, I think 2 to 3 miles every single day. I have a playlist. My music playlist is actually on my YouTube music. It's not on my Spotify. Spotify, I'm getting a version of the music that is just very, I would say, one-dimensional. It's basically like for those of us who are old enough, you're getting the version of the song that you're getting the version of the song that was intended if you purchase like like a music CD, right? You're not getting, but there's various versions of any given song that's out there. And if I want that version of the song, I cannot get it on Spotify. I can only go ahead. I'm not going to get it on Apple Music either. This is the competitive advantage that YouTube Music has over the other platforms is because they have a video component. You're getting various versions of that song that you wouldn't be able to get it. Make sense, everybody? Feedback?
Yeah, and they're in a shopping like people go to YouTube. I go to Spotify because I know what I want to hear. I know what artists. I just want to click and run and do whatever I'm doing. I go to YouTube. I want to shop and experience, right? I want there's this version of the Kanye song. Oh wait, I've never heard this. This is different. I have more time in mind when I go.
100%. 100%. Because like how artists monetize their music isn't so much just that one song, is how many variations of that song they can also go ahead and create. Like let's talk about like another example, right? So if you're talking about Bad Bunny, um, like the versions of his song that he did at the Super Bowl hit like a little bit different because you can also hear the crowd, right? Like if I wanted that version of Nueva Yol when I'm running, which I do, I'm only getting it from here. So how do we go ahead and actually turn that into very, very high impact message? Easy. So the first things first is you want to educate the user, and you educate the user by simply providing them with the demo. Go into YouTube Music and you talk about you can make a YouTube video very easily. It can be done literally in about 30 minutes. You guys know I crank out videos like no tomorrow. Make one that's like product teardown. You can call it product teardown. YouTube music versus Spotify. Who wins? Right. So let's be a little bit more intentional about getting this job now. It's like, oh, okay. Like, and then what can we also go ahead and talk about it? Well, let's talk about the video script now. Like, what is YouTube music? You know, why YouTube music is better for consumers. You can also talk about like why YouTube music is better for artists, right? Is better for artists. Like, how do artists, musicians monetize on YouTube music versus Spotify, you know? And you can also add in while we're at it, Apple Music into it, Amazon Music, right? You can also add that in there too. Um, because ultimately here is like what all these platforms compete on is more users and keeping it's like a drug. They want to keep the user on the platform for as long as possible, right? So they got to give the user a reason to be on that platform as long as possible. Um, so when I'm taking a look at this role right now, I would go ahead and ask myself the following questions like, how do we define success for a YouTube music product manager? Mhm. And I would create instead of, yeah, reaching out is good. I actually, for the 6 o'clock session later, I actually want to do the one for weed maps, but if we reach out, I mean, ultimately, it helps everybody's like portfolio, right? Because you basically start building an inventory of all these different product teardowns, and you have this portfolio where it just constantly like you are studying the game of like because they want users. The more people they can get on there, the more they can go out there and monetize. Because the more users they get on the YouTube music platform, the more artists want to go ahead and do things on YouTube Music. Because what do artists want? Artists want to constantly raise their platform and get more exposure because the more exposure that they have, the more access that they have to customers and to listeners and to their fans, they can now they can now monetize more and then they also just get more brand deals and they just keep on moving up. Does that make sense?
Hey,
So, yeah,
Rich, I
shoot,
have a question. So once we have that video created, should we lead with that when we try to send a connection request to the hiring manager?
100%,
Okay.
100%. So this is going to differentiate us, right? This is going to go ahead and absolutely differentiate us. Give me a second here. And
Would,
we are question.
Good question. Would you say that like if we do these for YouTube's, your JP Morgans, your bigger, sexier companies, Would these teardowns also be useful for tier two or tier three companies who aspire to be that, or is that?
100%. 100%. Because everybody right now, think about it this way, right? Everybody right now, they're thinking to themselves, I'm not going to be do that shit sounds like real fucking work. Like I'm not going to be doing that until I get the job, right? But on the other hand is like we ended up aggregating more revenue by putting out our coaching, like specific clips of our coaching calls out there because like people they don't want to enroll unless they know that we can deliver, but like we don't want to go to like our competitors, they don't want to do real work for these people unless these people enroll. At some point somebody's got to give, right? So yeah, and in the course of like let's just say 10, 15 days, 16 days. I think the first few, it takes a very long time. But after like, I don't know, about a week, you can crank out four, five, six of these a day. You probably thinking like, yo, that's like, yeah, you really can because you're just gonna get so good at like, I mean, I've done so many of these reviews now. Like, I can just do this thing in my sleep. That's, but it's also showing that you're thinking about the customer, them as a customer as well too. Like if you're on if you're Hulu right now, right? You're thinking to your number one thing is like how do we go out there and beat Netflix? How do we go out there and actually beat Netflix? That's all you're thinking about. And if you guys can go out there and crush numbers, uh, yeah. Do you guys know the number one show right now that's running on Disney Plus and Hulu is a Korean show? Does anybody here know that? It's a fairy tale drama. It's called The Perfect Crown. They're crushing it globally. It's about the in a fictional alternate reality. There's a crown prince in Korea, 6 feet tall, eight pack, and he's looking for a wife. The first two episodes, they made back their entire production because like they put a Bugatti in there and a yacht and everything. They're like, oh shit, like yeah, like they don't care what content's on there. They just care that oh shit, now we have something that people are watching like way more. Um, like I'm a fan of that game. Like A24, the three best shows right now that's running on Netflix, Apple TV, and I think Amazon is all from the A24 studio, right? So people are choosing winners. Like most people are going to be applying to YouTube Music and they're going to be looking for a shot. You want to be talking to these guys. You want to be talking to these hiring managers as if you already work there. Does that make sense, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also going to make you look so much hotter. It's also going to make you look so much hotter applying to like the tier two, tier three companies, right? Um, yeah, because now if you say like, yeah, I have like an interview with like XYZ company, they'll actually believe you. Tennille, please.
So, if I'm hearing you correctly, I go to the responsibilities on the job post, I create the content,
Mhm.
and you gave some examples. And then I guess I missed the part about how do I move from them ignoring my message to them engaging me in conversation. I don't think I caught that clearly.
Yeah. You should send them a message first, but like the other thing here is record a short video doing a product teardown and
Okay.
doing like a little mini case study. I'll give you guys like a reference. Okay. And for those of y'all tuning in later, schedule a call with us if you haven't already. Everybody right now is frantically looking for a job. So there's a lot of desperation in the air. So they're thinking to themselves right now, as a job hunter, why would I waste my time doing this and I don't even work there? This is opportunity cost and time taking away from me from applying to a job that may give me a job. And a person that would do that is a person that just needs any freaking job. That means you shouldn't fucking have anything to do with YouTube music. because we want like that's the truth, right? But somebody that's actually putting out that effort to do it in the first place is like, well, I imagine most people wouldn't even do it. That already puts you at a top 20 percentile. The second thing is the more you do it, the better you're going to get at doing it. And you're just going to be thinking to themselves, like, oh, wow, this person, in about 2 to 3 weeks' time, it's going to like, you could do this shit live. Like, I hop on these freaking coaching calls and it's just like, I just straight up Eminem style wing this shit, right? But like, you're gonna get better at something. Like, whoa, this person here they're thinking, they're understanding the business model. We want to get more users on here. They're a marketplace, just like any other marketplace. You get better artists on there, you get more users on there. The more users are on there, the more artists want to come on here, right? And that just means like the artists also do more stuff. Like they show up. Spotify spent a lot of money in Korea. The artists like they show up and they're doing like podcasts and they're talking about like we love Spotify music. That's exactly what they freaking want, you know? Apple Music is spending so much money right now getting like a bunch of the K-pop like BTS. I was freaking blown away by how much money those guys were making. Like that's an actual saying right now in the music world. Like we want to do BTS numbers. 10 years ago, it's like we want to do One Direction numbers. But like they want to get more artists on there. They want to get more artists doing like actual podcasts. They want to get more like let's see here, Apple Music interview. This is a way that they're winning. Well, Apple's like trying to go out there and actually win, right? Is okay, like BTS, they're having like Zane Lowe like interview like all these people. They want they want more of these artists on there. They know Korea's like crushing it right now, Korean content. So the more people are on here, they spent about like 48 minutes talking about their thing. Um, yeah, and then Netflix also had them on a documentary. Those seven guys, I thought it was amazing. They freaking crushed it. Um, but they want like clearly they got the star power to get the people on there. That means, hey, like if they're seeing them on here, maybe they start listening to their music on Apple Music. The one clear competitive advantage, no fluff though, that YouTube Music does have over everybody else is that they can get very specific versions of songs that are performed live that the other platforms cannot get. You know, yeah. So this is the approach that I really want to take because I know everybody wants a hot job. We want you guys to get into all the hot jobs too. Let's go ahead and get after it. Check the job board every single day. Tell me which companies that you guys like. The earlier you guys can ping me, the faster I can go ahead and get on it for you guys. But I mean, you guys see these companies are hiring. Your competition's just never been worse before. We prepped up Amazon for Imad. And it's amazing to me how much like people are spending on music. Like Google Gemini, they created their own music app in there where you can create your own music, right? Imad, like we actually have on the job board also, I'm gonna pop it in here for you. We also had Amazon Music. Amazon wants to get into the music game because everybody's listening to music. You know? Let me get you the job board.
Yeah, I have a subscription to Amazon Music, which I've never actually used.
Well, you
Just
don't
got
want to
it.
say that on the actual internet.
I know. I mean,
You're
full
Amazon
disclosure, full
everything.
disclosure for you guys, man.
100%. You see, right now, like before, people are like, thinking to themselves, like, why we are so transparent about our coaching process. We are also building in public, right? Like, you can't fake performance anymore. Like, if you're watching like a sports game, I don't care if it's basketball, football, soccer, if that guy was drinking all night last night, it's just going to go out there and show. In today's market, you either have the portfolio or you don't. They need the assurance. Otherwise, they end up on this call with y'all. Why do you think we get so many hiring managers reaching out to us too? Because they're like, yo, what's going on out there in the market? Are you looking? No, but low key, I am. You know? Lovable, the one of the reasons why Lovable is crushing it is because like I tell everybody to also subscribe to this newsletter, but the head of growth at Lovable, they are posting up their growth. This is the new way of doing it right now. Like they're actually publishing like, yo, we're gonna try a subscription model. Okay. And then like a month later, she'll actually post up like, we stopped forcing the subscription model on our users. This is what happened. They're very public about how they are growing, and people are loving it. You know, everybody right now, the entire competition, they're like hiding. You want to freaking be a secret agent and play James Bond? I mean, like nobody's hiring you if they don't know who it is that you are. They're hiding. They're not putting themselves out there. Kello, as you guys saw, put themselves out there like a lot, and he landed. That's what they want. They want you to be very visibly out there, right? And everybody's also thinking to themselves like, I'm not doing any of this shit. Well, let's start producing this stuff at scale. Because now that we have the collaboration, all of our subscribers across all of our platforms now are all of your subscribers across all of your platforms right now, right? Um, yeah. One suggestion that I would like to go ahead and make now is now that we have a little cartel going on is let's go ahead and comment on these posts together. Like let's split it up and act because if they're not hiring one of you guys, they're hiring one of you guys. If anybody that they're not going to interview and hire, they're going to be interviewing and hiring somebody else that's on this call. You know, it's clearly the case. Yeah. Does anybody else have any other feedback for myself? Uh, Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next check-in. Okay. Ahmad, we're doing this twice a day. Like
Okay.
doing this twice a day.
It's
I
not
want
the
every,
same call twice a day, though, right? It's
what's
a
that?
different call. I said it's not the same call twice a day, right? You're covering something else in the one that's later today.
Hell yeah, man, because we're gonna post up another batch of jobs, dude.
Okay,
I'm waiting for one
cool.
of you guys. I'm waiting,
Right, right.
I'm really waiting for one of you guys to like, I'm waiting for one of you guys to get into Instagram so you guys can just turn off all our competitors.
Yeah. I, Rich, I have a question. I have a question about the YouTube channel. And this is probably going to sound naive and ignorant, but because I'm catching up, so please excuse my
No, 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 no,
ignorance about it.
no, no, no.
Um, so like I mean, I'm coming at this question as somebody who already creates content on YouTube. I have a mountain biking channel. I got into mountain biking a bunch of years back. I make videos, post those up, and I know how much time it takes to actually record and edit that content. So like when we're talking about doing this for our, bread and butter, basically, like,
Right.
the product teardowns and so on. So I mean, is there any specific format we're following? Are there any tools that we can use that will make this process easier and faster for us?
Just Loom, just do a raw version of it. Like you don't need to incur a lot of editing. Um, and honestly, like it's just better to start because the faster you start, the faster you're gonna get better at doing it faster, you know. So everybody's assignment right now, take a look at all the jobs that you think are hot and let's go ahead and create portfolios for it. Let me know before the 6 o'clock check-in, and like I can actually bring up a script and like I can actually demo it for you guys live. You know, if you, but you got to be more specific in telling me which job that you guys want. Like Carlos, get the JP Morgan guys, the JP Morgan postings. Like let's get those guys together. This is how we're gonna beat out like referrals don't really mean a whole lot because at the end of the day, that person could be your brother or your best friend from college, but this is wartime product management right now. We don't need anybody else taking up food and shelter that doesn't actually add value. Anybody that we put into the foxhole with us, we want that person to be like actually having a shot. So if the six of us are here and Andy's trying to be, if the five of us are here and Andy's trying to be guy number six is like, what skills do you have? Like, like, uh, I was a medic. Okay, good. Like, That's like something we can use, you know? So yeah, I gotta go ahead and run and get over to my other call. But like everybody review the job board. Let's get the portfolios up and let's get after these companies.
Rich, just food for thought. So I think I'm having a difficulty reach. People are accepting, but people are not responding back to my message. So I wanted to see if we can build a script for, following up with them who have accepted our invites but are not, and have a job but not giving a response back. So that
Okay,
would be
okay,
something
okay,
for
okay,
later in the afternoon.
okay. Let's do that. Let's do that in the next
Yeah.
session. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I got a call and I need
Thanks
to eat
all.
before that call. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody welcome back. Let's get after it. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah.